We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Heron's Haven podcast. I'm so relieved. I can breathe. I can I can just be just relieved. I can relieved of all the stress and that was being, displayed from tonight's performance against Montreal. But 2-0 deficit in the first half. A 2-0 deficit in the first half turned into a 3-2 victory in the second half. This is the fifth consecutive game, that where Inter Miami start off losing and then end up making the comeback. This the fifth consecutive game. It's insane. Kansas City down 1-0, 1-3-2. Nashville down 1-0, 1-3-1. New England down 1-0, 1-4-1. New York Red Bulls down 1-0, 1-6-2. Montreal down 2-0, 1-3-2. It's so stressful watching this team perform sometimes and watching them play. But I'm really, really happy that we got the win. Very, very happy for those who did score. They definitely deserve it. So let's just go. This is my post game reaction. This is me pretty much directly after the game is over. I just had to take some time setting up the stream, but this is just my feelings directly after the game. It's insane what has happened tonight. MLS script is crazy, yeah, but bro, I feel like it definitely felt like there is more protection around Messi and Busquets and whatnot. Busquets definitely could have gotten sent off easily because he was yelling at the ref like bad once after he got a yellow. Suarez, I think, could have got like at least carded at some point. Didn't maybe Messi didn't do anything, but anyways, regardless. Um, let's talk about the game a little bit. So first half was an atrocious half, an atrocious half. We started off with a 4-4-2. Let's look at the lineup. What am I doing? I feel like this is not my first time doing a podcast. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. How Inter Miami went into the game, went into Montreal, went into Canada. Drake Callender in goal. I've said my opinions about Callender, and I'm not going to continuously repeat them. I've said them in previous episodes, but Drake Callender's in goal. We have no other choice. Back four: Negri, Freire, Kritsov, and Chelo Weingart. Solid. Aviles is suspended, so there's no Aviles, or there was no Aviles for tonight, so we had to bring in. I thought he was going to bring in like Noah Allen or something, but Kritsov is back and he played, so good for him. We have in the midfield four, because it's a 4-4-2 formation, Matias Rojas, Benja Kremaski, Sergio Busquets, and Julian Grasso. Top two, Suarez and Messi. I've said it before where Inter Miami, I said it during a point where Inter Miami were really struggling to put performances, especially in the beginning of the season when they didn't have Messi and they were just really, really struggling to score and to just even win games. I said Miami should switch to the 4-4-2 to create more stability, to create just more simplicity for the team, because I felt like the 3-5-2, the 5-3-2, whatever, I felt like it was too complicated for the players, and there wasn't a lot of good communication between them. The positioning was bad. Just the skill and it just didn't work. It just didn't work, right? And so I'm like, switch to a 4-4-2. It's simple. It's more. There's more of a foundation. Um, right? I say that, and then they started off the game with the 4-4-2. I'm like, okay, this should be interesting. Um, I was questioning it tonight because it's like, why would you change something that has been working for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 games? And why would you change like a 4-3-3 formation that has been working this whole time? Because you have healthy players, you have Robert Taylor, you obviously have Matias Rojas who can play on the left. Messi could play on the right. Gressel, Busquets, Kremaski. I mean, like they were shifting, they were rotating in between that, but I don't know. So yeah. And honestly, I just want to say the worst parts of that first half was the communication between Chelo and Kritsov was just non-existent. The positioning between the players and like throughout that half was absolutely atrocious. Kritsov, poor guy, literally is like he's a great defender. He's a good defender, right? Solid, but he's so slow. And if we got hit so many times on the counter in that first half, and Kritsov just couldn't keep up. He did it the best he could. He really tried, and I'm not giving him smack for it, but he's really slow and easily always caught off. Especially when we got dispossessed so many times in that midfield or even in the defensive third. And once we did that, it was like they were just on that break. They were running, they were sprinting to our net. Chelo, absolutely horrific positioning. Absolutely horrific positioning. He was like him and like Gressel kept like overlapping each other. Like Chelo would push forward and play like as a winger, and then Gressel would drop back. I hated that. I genuinely did not like that at all throughout the game. Chelo being so far, like so high up the pitch, just left us kind of vulnerable in the back. I mean, like leaving Kritsov and Freire and even Negri, like just we were just down a man because Gressel would be in the midfield and then he would have to recover onto defense, which is probably Gressel's fault, to be honest. I didn't like too much of how he played today. But he made amazing runs up and down the field, which is what he's known for, which is great. He's made a lot of recoveries, even made a lot of defensive efforts. But I hated Chelo overlapping, and he needed to stay back there, in my opinion, and just let Gressel go up. Like, just let Gressel get forward. Let Chelo stay back, because leaving somebody like Kritsov vulnerable like that to a counterattack was just our downfall. So, I mean, Kritsov still didn't get subbed off until like the 80th minute, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, I didn't like Chelo. I didn't like Kritsov. Their communication, like they were constantly talking to each other. Chelo was yelling at Kritsov, and yeah, no, the position was horrible, and it also left just Freire and Negri to kind of do the heavy lifting on those counters. But yeah, that was kind of just the biggest downfall to that. The first goal, Drake Callender like just completely left his legs wide open, right? But us being dispossessed in the midfield cost us that, and I think the second goal was the same way. But yeah, I mean, Bryce Duke is a dog. We had him 2 years ago for those OGs, for those OG Inter Miami fans. We've had Bryce Duke. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago. He did great for us, and every time he played, he did pretty good. He did good in a struggling Inter Miami side. Same thing with Lassiter or Lassiter. He he was okay. Like he was decent when he played for us, but tonight he did really well. He got an assist. Bryce Duke got the goal. He's been a dog, and I've always like ever since then, right? Ever since like 2-3 years ago, whatever, whenever he played for us, I'm like, why on earth would we ever trade Bryce Duke? He was one of the best players at the time at the club, but honestly, it was probably better for him to get better minutes and play in a better team and whatever in a better system. I said the same thing about Julian Carranza. Like when we traded him to the Philadelphia Union, like he was supposed to be the number two striker behind Gonzalo Higuain. Barely got any minutes, but I'm like, when he got traded, I was so pissed. And then now after he got traded, he was just popping off for Philly. And so I'm like, oh, good for him. I mean, like it's just the move that he needed to make. Ace Lionel, welcome to the stream, my good man. Yo, another win. Yes, sir. I mean, we were just talking about how much I can breathe after seeing such a stressful first half and just a lot better second half. We're going to get to the second half right now, actually. We just finished talking about the first half, but yeah. Ville Saint was also pretty good. He was quick, man. That guy was like, that man was like Drogba, like when he played for Montreal, honestly. Like just, he was definitely a threat. He was definitely a huge threat that game. Him, Duke, Lassiter, and I'm pretty sure like those are like the three guys that were pretty much threats. But but yeah, better second half. Del Morva's back. Not a not 5-0, but I'll take A, man. I think everybody would take this. We were gonna suffer another defeat against Montreal after suffering one against them earlier in the season. We ended up with the comeback, man. It wasn't as comfortable as we thought it was gonna be, but a win is a win, and we keep the streak alive. We keep the streak alive. Um, well, before I go into the second half, we scored two. We literally scored the equalizing goals right before the half. So I should probably talk about that, right? Um, who scored? It was Matias Rojas. How could I forget who scored? Matias Rojas scores a banger from like 30, 40 yards out, maybe. Let's just say 30. Absolute banger top right corner. Like, Jesus, man. Like, I knew Matias Rojas was going to be good. He played for Racing. I watched him at Racing. He did amazing. I just did not know it was going to be this good. I mean, like he's been almost an immediate um he's had an immediate almost an immediate impact on the team coming off the bench, this time starting. And he his touches, his passing, his vision, his shooting, his left foot is absolutely insane. And I'm very, very happy for Rojas for having the performance that he did. Amazing first goal. And I'm like, okay, we at least get one before the half. Then, literally, just what, 3 minutes later, in injury time in the 48th minute, I want to say 47th minute, there was a corner kick. Luis Suarez scores the goal. Honestly, it looked like an own goal, but even if it was a 50-50, they would give it to Suarez because I like deep down in my heart, or deep down in my gut, I should say, the MLS are just favoring Messi and Suarez for like their goal scoring and for the whole marketing thing. And so it's like, let's just give Suarez the goal for the tally. But yeah, Isilino says it's crazy that ex-Inter Miami players have been scoring against us, and they've been popping off. These are amazing players that played for Inter Miami before, as you know, man. And it's like they were always good players. It's just that we had to trade them. We just traded them, and at the time, it felt like a really bad move. In my opinion, at that time. I mean, obviously we have a lot of good players now, but letting go of those good players was just it just really, really hurt. And it just felt like that squad was just never gonna get good. But I mean, ever since Messi joined, I mean, he's been attracting all these good young players. And it's been beneficial for us. So yeah, they score against us, but at the end of the day, they're those players' careers are a little better, not in Miami, and we're being very successful right now. So it's a win-win situation, I guess. But yeah, second half it was a lot better. I liked it a lot. I mean, like we did miss a couple of chances, but honestly, it was definitely a more I don't want to say a more dominant second half, but we definitely felt the rhythm. I feel like this could be the new tactic, honestly, because teams, I don't know, they probably haven't caught on yet, but in these last 5 games, teams have been really, really pressing us heavy. They've been pressing us heavy. They've been trying to hit those counterattacks on us because they know it's going to work. They know it's going to work. But the problem is, and I felt like it happened here tonight with Montreal, that they get tired. Like their defense, like Montreal's defense was cooked. They were completely cooked in the second half. Um, the midfield was a little cooked, but yeah, like they after that, like I feel like we were just the better team in the second half. So yeah, and so I maybe that's just a tactic that they have because they only had 3 shots that second half. We had 8. Oh no. I got that the complete wrong way. They had 7 shots in the first half. We had 4. They had 8 shots in the second half, only 2 on target. We had 3 shots, 2 on target. One of them was Garamashi scoring the winning goal in the 59th minute. But I don't know. It just felt like, yeah, they were getting up there, but they just, I don't know if it was the fatigue or the fact that they were tied 2-2 and they were getting under that pressure. They like Montreal just completely turned off in my opinion. Like it just wasn't a good Montreal second half. I thought Duke was gonna get a second. I'm not gonna lie to you. Duke kind of scared me quite a bit. As he really should, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a better second half in terms of, we were definitely just shutting them down a little more on defense. Morva asks, who played better at calendar or the defense? How many saves does calendar have? Probably not many. Honestly, I've said it in the beginning I didn't like how the defense played in the first half. Definitely did not like how they played in the first half. He did make a lot of saves in that second half. I just don't remember the actual number. He's made 4. There's no way he's only made 4 saves. I feel like he stopped quite a few opportunities in that second half, especially. But I hated how the defense played in that first half, man. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. So much miscommunication, so much poor positioning. Like it would between Chelo and Kritsov, it was just so bad. Kritsov was so slow. He was constantly getting beat, losing possession in the final in the defensive third and in the midfield. Just really, really made us look weak. Don't want to say Drake Callender played well. I don't want to say that the defense played well either. I mean, I think they both played pretty average. Um, and Drake Callender honestly kind of saved us in the end. With a couple of big saves and also a couple of poor shots from Montreal, but we're not going to talk about that. Scary hit on Messi. Honestly, I was very, very scared when Messi went down. He was hit. It depends on what camera angle you see it from, right? So like when he was fouled, I forget who did the foul, but when he was fouled, it barely looks like he was hit. And I'm talking about this happening like in the middle of the field somewhere. I don't know. Like it barely looked like he was hit, but then like when you change the camera angle to get like a side profile, you could see that like the Montreal player's like foot like pretty roughly hits Messi's like shin area or like a knee area, somewhere along his leg. And I was very, very scared that Messi was just going to come off injured again. Not mainly because of Inter Miami, but mainly because of the Copa America being about a month away. Like me being completely honest here. But yeah, no, that was very scary. But he got up because of the new rules. I forget exactly what the new rules are. Excuse me, for the MLS, but it's like if you're down for like a certain amount of time, then you have like 10 seconds to come off the field and then you can be put back on in the next available opportunity. It's to just avoid time wasting. And so that's what they implemented today. Um and yeah, no, but it's fine. Everything's good. Messi's fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody took an injury. So we're good. Um what was I talking about before I was saying that? Yeah, I talked about Matias Rojas. I talked about the defense. I talked about calendar. Um, Benja Kremaski. I like Benja a lot. I love his mentality and his determination of just like never giving up. So like no matter what, this is how he scored. This is literally how he scored the winning goal in like the 80th minute. He got a great ball from Matias Rojas. Matias Rojas took like a touch and like launched it to the other side of the field. Benja was there pretty much by himself. There was a defender pretty much like on him. Um, but with a good touch, Benja would have been through and the goal would have been scored easily. But the defender got to him, took a bad and Benja took a bad touch, but instead of just giving up on the play and saying, "Oh damn, I took a bad touch, like let me just like stop playing," he literally continued, which is literally what every professional player should be doing. He literally continued the play. He didn't give up on the ball, still tried to get the shot off, and he got like a toe poke on the ball, which neither of the Montreal, either defender or goalkeeper, was expecting, and literally rolled right over the line. So I really like his determination. I really like his will of never giving up and his just pure like strength. He really, really fights for the ball. Like you could tell he's a very, very passionate player and very physical. I really, really like how like his play style. I should say maybe to put it a little simpler. I really like his play style, and I really hope we could see him start more. I'm really, really glad that he's back from injury. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't really like him. I mean, honestly, I think he's probably the best young midfielder we have at the club, besides Redondo. I think he's better than Ruiz, honestly. Even though Ruiz, no disrespect to Ruiz, he's a great, great player. For Gressel, talking about the midfield now, talking about Gressel, I like Gressel, man. Like I don't want to knock Gressel too hard because I feel like Gressel is still a key piece to the midfield. Maybe until Redondo gets back. But with Gressel in the midfield, he also shows that he's like an engine, dude. Like he's running up and down the field. He's recovering. He's getting forward. I feel and it's important because nobody does that on the team. Busquets is not going to be doing that. I mean, Benja will, but like Messi's not doing that. Suarez is definitely not doing that. Kritsov can't do that. Gressel is an important player when it comes to just being pure engine. Like it's just a pure engine and just a pure, just just him covering the field. Really, he just needs to cover ground. Him covering ground is like literally what we need him to do. Doesn't anyone think that Gressel really needs to improve on his finishing? Because dear Lord, someone help this man. I mean, yeah, I think that Gressel could definitely improve on his finishing. Um, that's probably not like his. He should probably work on that on the training grounds. To be honest, that's probably not his main focus. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I see that. Um, I think like I think his passing play is really good. Like I said, the way he gets up and down the field is I think is outstanding. He's made a lot of defensive efforts. He's literally sprinted back into our own penalty area to make defensive blocks, and it's just really good because no defender is going to be doing that for us, and no real player is going to be doing that for us like, unless it's Benja Kermaski. So I'm very very happy with Gressel. I mean, I like him on the team or in the team, and I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I don't know. It's gonna be difficult when Redondo comes back. I don't know. The midfield is pretty contested. It's pretty contested. Uh, Gressel does all the unappreciated work and makes everyone better. That's really well said, De Mora. He does a lot of work that is very unappreciated, not like anything sexy in terms of getting stats on the board, putting goals up, getting assists. He's just like I said, he gets up and down the field quickly and effectively. He gets into positions and he's literally doing what literally the other not like maybe nine other Inter Miami players on the field are not doing, and that's sprinting up and down the field. Um, so yeah, I like Russell. I rate him highly, and if he loses his starting spot, I really hope that Redondo can pretty much replicate that engine type of style of play, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to look at something else really to talk about. I think I pretty much covered everything. Luis Suarez, I mean, I've seen it in person against the New York Red Bulls, but like it's just so bad. It's just so bad how he walks around the field, man. And I feel like I talk about this so often, but like the way he just walks, the way he walks is so concerning, dude. The way that he like literally just like how he regularly walks is like he's constantly limping. I feel like my camera's crooked. I don't know. My camera crooked? Don't know. I'll just put that right there. I feel like he's just constantly limping. I feel like he's just always injured. I don't know if he gets like injections or something. I don't want to make any freaking like guesses or like conspiracies, but like it's really like scary to look at. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really scary to look at him walk that way in that manner. I'm definitely like crooked to walk in that manner. So I don't know. I mean, Campana came on in like the 90 something minute. Uh, I don't know. I mean, like as far as is effective, he can score goals. He can sometimes make good passes, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just really concerning, like seeing him walk around like he literally has like no knees, which is probably true. He has no knees because it's just been taken away from him from the amount of hits that he's just been getting. But yeah, but I want to say, yeah, who else am I missing? I'm trying to think of anybody else that I'm missing. Uh, I mean, like the substitutes today, David Ruiz came on for Benja, Robert Saylor came on for Kritsov, and Bright came on. Bright coming off the bench, I feel like is pretty good. I mean, like I think it's a great way to close out the game. Um, s- uh, I think he's only had one start for the club, but like him coming off the bench is good. Like it gives us fresh legs. It's nothing too crazy. But I guess it's just to close out the game and not have really tired players on the field within like maybe the last 10 to 15 minutes of the game. So it's fine. And like it's a duty. It's an unappreciated role and it's an unappreciated factor. But it does its job and it does it to he does it in a very solid state. So um, I think that's it when it comes to players. And I mean, let's talk about a little bit about the next game. I mean, we're making yeah, no, we're at the 30-minute mark, so let's talk a little bit about the next game. Um, so the next time Inter Miami play, it'll be next week. Wait, is it next week? No, what day is it today? Today is the 11th. No, we have a midweek game. Today's the 11th. We have a midweek game. So it's not on Saturday. It should be when's the 15th? It's a Wednesday. We have a midweek game. So we're going to have two games next week. We're going to be blessed with two games next week. Wednesday, we have the Florida Derby. Again, away this time. We're going to Orlando this time on Wednesday. This is going to be interesting because we absolutely destroyed, if you remember, we absolutely destroyed Orlando early in the season. Completely destroyed them. 5-0, right? 5-0 at home. Absolutely amazing, right? That is most likely not going to be the case on Wednesday. I don't expect them to destroy Orlando 5-0, but I think we can get a good result out of them this year. Excuse me, I keep burping. I was having dinner while I was watching the game. But Orlando are not that good this year, and I think they've been in pretty shaky form. What did they play tonight? Didn't they? They played tonight. I'm checking to see if they won their game. They did. They won their game against Philly, which is very good for them. I mean, like those are two pretty evenly matched teams, I want to say, right? So they've won their game against Philly 2-3. Good for them. Um, Lodero. Lodero got a hat trick of assists, which is pretty interesting. Muriel up top with Maguire, Torres, Lodero, Ojeda, Araujo in the midfield with Angulo. I think it's a scary Orlando team. Not a scary. I shouldn't say scary. That's like me overhyping the Orlando team for like that's me literally glazing that team for no reason. Muriel up top, I feel like is gonna be like an issue. Ese Colombiano, bro, like is gonna be deadly. I feel like if he's used properly and if they could take advantage of him on Wednesday, he's definitely gonna be getting on the score sheet. Same thing with Maguire. If those two are on their game, they're gonna get on the score sheets. So I wouldn't be surprised if we can see 2 goals. Del Moro is saying we're going a 3-1 win over Orlando. I think that's not a bad guess at all. I was going to say maybe 2 goals for Orlando, especially at home. Uh, I do want Miami to win, man. I do want Miami to win. What's their home record? Or damn, dude, Orlando's been actually suck at home. Out of 6 games at home, they've won once. Out of 6 games at home, they've won only once. And I think that was to Austin. It was a 2-0 win. So me, dude, but you know how this Miami side is, man. We could be facing the worst team in the league, but we'll concede 2 goals. We'll end up winning the game, but we'll concede 2 or 3 goals in the process of that. So I'm gonna go with maybe Orlando are scoring 2 goals. I'm calling it right now. Orlando are scoring 2 goals. Because we have the game against Orlando on Wednesday, and then we travel back home on Saturday. I think it's the 18th. And we play again I believe it's against Philly. I think it's Philly. Is it Philly? No, it's DC. So we should be winning that game too. I'm gonna say 3-2. I'm just gonna go with the 3-2 prediction. For Miami. I think Miami are gonna win the Derby again, 3-2 at Orlando. I think Muriel is gonna get on the board. I think Maguire is gonna get on the board. Um, if Matias Rojas plays, I think he's gonna score or get some sort of goal contribution, goal or assist. We could see some pretty not heavy rotation. We should be playing our best squad against Orlando. I'd rather rest against DC United and potentially tie the game than to play a rest like to rest our side on Wednesday and play a full squad on against DC. I think we need to play our full starting 11 against Orlando to just secure that win. We need to beat our rivals. We need to beat our in-state rivals. Ace Leonel says that I feel we're going to get our first clean sheet of the season against Orlando 3-0. Oh, well, it's not our first clean sheet of the season. We actually had a clean sheet against Orlando when we beat them 5-0. That was in the season. But that will be our first clean sheet in, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many games. In all competitions, honestly, I think the last clean sheet we have was against Orlando. Oh my God. Yeah. That was our last clean sheet. The last clean sheet we had was on March 2nd. And we're in May. We're at like almost mid-May, which is insane to think about. So honestly, I like the enthusiasm. I really, really like the enthusiasm of us potentially getting our like third clean sheet of the season and our first in like 3 months or 2 months. So I like that optimism. So yeah, I really hope you're right. I really hope you can keep a clean sheet, but keeping a clean sheet at home or away from home is very, very difficult no matter what league you're playing in, right? If anything, I think we should be getting the clean sheet against DC, who I believe are like mid-table. No, they're 7th. So they're like a decent side. Or they're doing decently in terms of performance-wise. I think we'll get a clean sheet against DC at home. That I think that's my prediction for that. But anyways, guys, we're approaching 40 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys here for too long. It's 10:30 at night. Everybody has to enjoy the rest of their Saturday night. We'll be back Tuesday to do a little preview for the Orlando match. We'll talk literally in a couple days. We'll see each other on Tuesday, and then obviously on Friday and after the games and whatnot. But yeah, the next time we'll see each other is on Tuesday. I really hope to see you again. Thank you for Ace Leonel and for Del Morva for coming out again to the Heron's Haven podcast and for contributing and for hanging out with me and for just talking in Miami, man, and talking ball. So I appreciate you guys a lot, honestly, for real. So you guys are real ones. You guys gave me your predictions, and I appreciate that. I'm going with the 3-2 win over Orlando on Wednesday. And let's just see who's right. Let's see who gets the closest. So thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Heron's Haven podcast. I hope you guys enjoy the great rest of your night. Thank you for contributing, and thank you for everybody who has come. Subscribe to the channel and just really participate with these podcasts. It's very, very appreciated, and it's very, very awesome to see. Let's hopefully we get this win on Wednesday in this midweek game. We're blessed with 2 games next week in the MLS regular season. Let's hope we make it 2 for 2. I'll see you guys on Tuesday night. Vamos Miami. Thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night.